is NBC Palm Springs.
Good morning, Coachella Valley, and thank you for joining us for NBC Palm Springs Midday. I'm Joe Smith. I'm glad you're here. It is a holiday weekend. We are finally getting ready to enjoy the 4th of July to some degree. Jerry's got our forecast, and Jerry, you say it's going to be hot, hot, hot.
Yeah, three things to remember as we look at our Agua Caliente casino cam and all the blue skies. Yeah, it's going to be sunny, dry, and hot. Sunny, dry, and hot. Sunny, dry, and hot. Sunny, dry, and hot.
There it is.
There you go. Sunny, dry, and hot. Sunny, dry, and hot. Sunny, dry, and hot.
Okay, broken record.
Okay,
Move the needle.
All right. Yeah, exactly. I was wondering what was happening there with the camera. Anyway, 107 will be our forecast high today. A little hotter than yesterday, but not as hot as it's going to be tomorrow for the 4th of July. I'll have those hot numbers for you. Hint, moving into excessive heat territory in just a bit. Keep it here.
All right, Jerry. Thank you.
Coronavirus coverage brought to you by East Valley COVID-19 testing site, serving residents of eastern Coachella Valley.
Another record-setting day of new coronavirus cases in the United States, this ahead of the holiday weekend. Individual records in 6 states, Alaska, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Montana, and South Carolina. And 36 states are reporting a rise in infections. Only 2 states, Rhode Island and Connecticut, have seen new cases decline over the past week. Here are the latest numbers. Nearly 55,000 new infections were reported yesterday, and more than 129,000 deaths. Here in California, more than 6,100 deaths. Riverside County saw 679 new cases, 193 of those in the valley, and 2 new deaths reported in the county. Eisenhower Health says they are experiencing their highest number of COVID inpatients, combined with higher number of inpatients overall. Among most of their patients, though, are younger people. Fortunately, the death rate there has not increased, even as they are seeing a higher volume of patients. And as the number rises across the country, Riverside County health officials released a public service announcement encouraging people to stay home this weekend. Health officials are concerned the Independence Day weekend could cause a spike if residents don't adhere to safety guidelines. And new guidelines in place across the state ahead of tomorrow's holiday. Our Olivia Sandusky shows us how restaurant owners are working to maintain and remain in compliance while protecting employees and their customers.
Customers enjoy lunch on the lawn at Elmer's in Palm Springs, an option the owner hopes will keep her 80 staff members employed after laying a majority off in March.
This was easier to handle because we knew we could at least have some business. I'll probably keep at least 50% of the staff and kind of rotate them.
Do you want lettuce, tomato?
Over in Palm Desert, Sherman's Deli is facing similar issues. After bringing back some of their 40 furloughed employees, this new closure resulted in 15 more.
That kind of hurt, especially after they had just gone through the testing. They gave me the call and the paperwork. I'm negative, and I said, well, that's great. I'm glad. Stay clean because I can't bring you back now, and that really hurt.
But staffing isn't the only problem owners face. Another challenge includes ordering food and supplies.
Everything here is fresh. So what we'll do is we'll just order small orders from our delivery people. If we have to run out of an item that is not a well-known item, then we will just run out.
And the city of Palm Springs has already approved 16 restaurants to expand into sidewalks, giving them flexibility and helping businesses that don't have outdoor space. But city leaders say this move could still be months away.
Most of the restaurants felt that in the summer, when it's 100 degrees until 9 o'clock at night, that expanding onto the street wasn't ideal right now. So they're thinking about it making sense possibly in the fall.
Olivia Sandusky, NBC Palm Springs.
All Los Angeles County and Orange County beaches are closed this weekend because of COVID-19 concerns. 2 Newport Beach lifeguards tested positive for the virus. 23 others are quarantined. Officials say it was too much to ask lifeguards to do more with less, especially on a holiday weekend where they would normally expect tens of thousands of visitors. But from Monterey to Manhattan Beach, people are upset with the closures.
I think it's crap. The masks aren't helping. I mean, people are staying home aren't helping. So I don't think just telling people they're going to stay home for 4th of July, you know, the nation's holiday, that, oh yeah, that's going to stop everything either. So
why the I mean, I don't want to swear too loudly, but I want to go to the beach. It sucks.
Public health experts say this weekend is critical for the state saying it is vital people stay home and stay safe. The city of Palm Springs issued one of the strongest orders in the state about using face masks. Our Nico Payne shows us where you'll need to wear a mask in Palm Springs and how it will be enforced.
That's a new public service announcement that's going to be blanketing the TV and radio airwaves soon. Governor Newsom debuted the ad saying it's time Californians got serious about wearing masks.
We're walking around, and I would say more than 50% of people in Palm Springs are not wearing masks.
To combat that, Palm Springs issues a new order making it mandatory to wear masks outside, even when hiking or doing other activities.
If you're out on the streets next to a business, you're going to have to wear it.
I find it's the younger people, the age group 30, 40, that are not wearing the mask. They have them in their hand or hanging around their neck. But to wear on sidewalks, it's almost impossible to stay 6 feet sometimes, so you definitely need to have a mask on.
Some think the new order is great, but it doesn't mean anything if it's not enforced.
I do believe that the police should be taking more steps towards our safety. It's not enough that they're just driving down on Palm Canyon Drive. They should be probably walking and giving tickets to the people that they are not wearing any mask.
City leaders agree.
If there's a willful refusal, they will be subject to a citation and a fine, and it could be range anywhere from $250 all the way up to $5,000, depending upon the situation.
Nico Payne, NBC Palm Springs.
This morning on the Today Show, Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams urged everyone to wear a mask this weekend if they plan to go out. Now, in March, he said masks are not effective in preventing spread, but now he says that statement was based on outdated information. We now know half of the COVID-19 cases in the U.S. are spread asymptomatically. Dr. Adams said wearing masks will give people more freedom because with fewer cases, more places can stay open. Wall Street is closed today because of the July 4th holiday, which comes after yesterday's jobs report that nearly 5 million people went back to work last month, even though nearly 1.5 million people filed for unemployment last week. But now we have new guidelines which are forcing new closures. Our Kitty Alvarado talked to money experts about what this means long term.
The June jobs report was better than some expected. The unemployment rate fell to 11.1% after adding 4.8 million jobs. That's the second month in a row of growth after 20 million jobs were lost in April because of the pandemic. Dr. Christopher Thornburg, one of the leading economists in our region, says he expected a good report because most of the numbers are temporary job losses.
You've had way too many people tossing around the word depression, when in no way, shape, or form is what's going on right now.
While some economists say this jobs report doesn't reflect what's happening in real time and unemployment numbers don't include those who've stopped looking for work, Thornburg says there's just different ways of measuring the same thing, and one number doesn't tell the story. The number we should be looking at is the nearly 3% permanent job loss, which has doubled since June of last year.
This is a worrisome number. That number is increasing. That's the true long-run damage to the economy. But in terms of looking at this, say, relative to the Great Recession, this number isn't all that high yet.
Joe Wallace, the CEO of the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, says the recent closures of bars and restaurants put a damper on the momentum.
This was a great jobs report, but it might be a wash by the end of August. And for here, we never have prosperity in the summer.
And the valley's tourist-based economy will take longer to recover.
The projections that the Greater Palm Springs Convention Visitors Bureau had some consultants put together. Tourism won't get back to where it was for 5 years, maybe longer.
Kitty Alvarado, NBC Palm Springs.
Okay, Jerry is standing by with a forecast for us for the holiday weekend as you take a look at our Agua Caliente Casino cam. Beautiful day out there today, though.
Yeah, getting hotter. It's a little bit toastier than it was yesterday at this time. Already 97 degrees at Palm Springs. Winds light, 5 miles an hour. 68 degrees at Big Bear. They began in the upper 30s earlier today. 87 at Yucca Valley. Other numbers include 92 in Sunshine at 29 Palms. Anybody at triple digits yet? No, but getting close. 95 at Desert Hot Springs. 94 Coachella, Mecca 96. 97 at Palm Desert. Oh, 98. Okay, that's the closest we got to 100 degrees. That's at Rancho Mirage. But we'll get there this hour. Satellite imagery clear, not much going on. Got to look to Arizona for a little bit of convection. That's all happening over the Four Corners states, all moving to the north. That's where a little bit of that monsoonal moisture is. It's going to stay to our east over the next few days. That's where the rain will be. Nothing for Southern California except for the heat. Today, 105 to 108, the range of highs, stopping shy of 110 today. Onshore flow kicks in at around dinner time. So dew points in the 40s, temperatures easily into the triple digits. That'll start in just a few minutes. And our Comfort Air 3-day forecast puts us at 110, and that'll be the coolest number in the Coachella Valley. A lot of us above that, 112, hotter on Sunday, all with lots of sunshine. We'll take a look at the full week next week, forecast in just minutes.
Thank you, Jerry. 2 of 3 suspects charged in the murder of a Coachella Valley couple pleaded not guilty to murder charges. Adam Fregoso and Manuel Rios face a special circumstance allegation of killing a witness of a crime, making them eligible to receive the death penalty if convicted. The last suspect, Jesus Ruiz, pleaded not guilty Wednesday to 2 felony counts of being an accessory to murder after the fact. Up next, new details on the death of the missing soldier, Vanessa Guillen. We'll have those after the break, plus information on the murder suspects. Stay with us. Two people are dead and multiple people were taken to a hospital with injuries after a shooting in Bakersfield. The shooting happened around 7:30 last night. Police say 5 people were shot and 2 people who died were women. The shooting appears to be gang-related, according to authorities. Police don't know how the suspect arrived at the scene. No one is in custody at this time. New details in the death of the missing soldier, Vanessa Guillen. The Fort Hood soldier was reported missing for more than 2 months. That was 2 months ago. We learn now, and we want to tell you that the video that you're about to see is very disturbing. Brandon Hamilton reports.
A chilling document giving a gruesome timeline of what happened to specialist Vanessa Guillen, the 2 suspects, specialist Aaron Robinson and his girlfriend Cicely Aguilar. Attorney Natalie Quam detailing the gruesome murder on April the 22nd.
When she went to the armory room, Robinson was with her, and he took a hammer and bludgeoned her, killed her in there. It was really graphic. There was blood all over the place.
According to the affidavit, Robinson then placed Guillen in a box, picked up Aguilar from work, and then drove to the Leon River in Bell County. To dispose of the body, Robinson and Aguilar are accused of using a machete-type knife to remove Guillen's limbs and head. The affidavit also states Guillen's body was placed in 3 separate holes and covered. On April the 26th, the two returned to the Leon River, burning the body and pouring concrete over the shallow grave. The details too hard to tell Vanessa's mother, Gloria.
We can't tell her that they found Vanessa's body or anything. I mean, this lady is so fragile. It's not healthy or safe for her to know anymore. I cried. We all cried when we heard this, because you just think about how this girl must have suffered.
While Army CID says they found no evidence of sexual harassment, Quam says that was the reason for Guillen's murder.
We believe that Vanessa told him that she was reporting him, and that's why he bludgeoned her.
Through local news coverage, the affidavit says Robinson learned the remains had been found earlier this week. He fled the base on foot, turning a gun on himself in Killeen overnight Tuesday. Aguilar has been charged with tampering with evidence with intent to impair a human corpse.
That was Brandon Hamilton reporting. Natalie Quam also says they are continuing their call for a congressional investigation. President Trump is kicking off his Independence Day weekend at Mount Rushmore, just below the memorial. The president will speak, followed by a fireworks display. Organizers have issued 7,500 tickets. Social distancing is not required for the event, and masks will be optional. But at a time of racial unease, with statues of slaves holders being torn down, the Rushmore event is a reminder that Trump is fighting to preserve these monuments some see as symbols of oppression. And to indigenous people, Mount Rushmore is one of those symbols, as it was carved out of land sacred to them. Native American activists are planning protests against the event, and local tribal councils have denounced the Trump visit, saying his visit could lead to coronavirus outbreaks among their members. Coming up, a preview of a very special concert this Sunday here on NBC Palm Springs. 88 Keys ×3, the Carnival of the Animals, part of the Waring International Piano Competition. And now here's a look outside at our Agua Caliente Casino Cam in downtown Palm Springs. Jerry's got your AccuWeather forecast after the break. In this morning's Showbiz Report, the Broadway hit Hamilton starts streaming on Disney Plus this weekend. Manny the Movie Guy has everything you need to know before watching the musical.
Hello, movie buffs! The origin of the United States of America is explored in Hamilton, and it's a must-see this Independence Day weekend. The music, the spectacle, but most of all, the history. Hamilton arrives on Disney Plus, and it's worth your subscription. If you're what's called a Hamil fan, this is a cause for celebration. You can see the beloved musical over and over again, but if you're a newbie to the whole occasion, listen up, this is what you need to know. Based on Ron Chernow's 800-page Alexander Hamilton biography, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who also wrote the musical's Tony Award-winning lyrics, music, and book, is our hero.
My name is Alexander Hamilton.
When we first meet him, Hamilton is a wide-eyed immigrant from the Caribbean. The setting is New York of 1776, and before long, he joins the army of anti-British revolutionaries, becomes George Washington's right-hand man, defends the Constitution with the Federalist Papers, and as the first Secretary of the Treasury, creates what we now know as the American banking system. All that and more are in the musical.
There were screams and church bells ringing.
Filmed by the show's director Thomas Cale and shot in front of a live audience at the Richard Rogers Theater in June of 2016, Hamilton is full of passion, not only for the country, but for his humanity.
We'll never be free until we end slavery.
The original cast rocks, and some of the standouts are David Diggs as both Marquis de Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson, Leslie Odom Jr. as Hamilton's frenemy, Aaron Burr, Philippa Sue as Hamilton's wife, Eliza, and the scene-stealing Renee Elise Goldsberry as Eliza's older sister, Angelica, the voice of strong women. Billed as being about the America then as told by the America now, our founding fathers are played by black and brown actors, and the addictive music is a mishmash of pop, hip-hop, and rap. It may seem gimmicky, but it's what makes this production come alive and resonate. Political ambitions, forgiveness, the power of love, Hamilton defines this generation and beyond. Alexander Hamilton is more than just the face of our $10 bill. And for that, Hamilton gets the perfect 4 out of 4 I Love America kisses. I'm Manny the Movie Guy. Have a safe and happy 4th of July weekend.
It's an Independence, yay! Thank you, Manny. Yeah, a lot of blue skies right now in our Agua Caliente casino cam. Going to be sunny several days ahead of us. Not a cloud really in sight. In our future, yesterday we had temps just below average. Thermal peaked at 104. The average 107 will be closer to normal today. Then after that, the numbers kind of skyrocket. 95 degrees currently at Desert Hot Springs, almost 100 at the airport, 91 at Cabazon, 86 at Banning. Up north, 94 at 29 Palms, 97 at Coachella. Clear skies over the valley. A lot of sunshine. All the monsoonal moisture basically staying to our east over the Four Corners states. Beginning to see a little orographic lift. Thunderstorm activity, all kind of rolling to the north. Let's see if there are any thunderstorms under the little blips there. Yeah, sure enough, a lot of lightning strikes. That's going to stay out of the Coachella Valley in Southern California. All that monsoonal moisture and rain will stay to our east. 105 to 108, the range of highs under sunshine today. Late in the day, beginning around 4, 5, 6 o'clock, we'll get an onshore flow that will become a little breezy. But temps close to seasonal norms here. 70s and 80s around the coast for highs today, and low 80s as we move into Independence Day. But for us, yeah, easily into triple-digit territory. 106s or 107s today. Then that ridge of high pressure begins to strengthen even more, adding degrees. Matter of fact, we'll be at the low end, 110 for the Coachella Valley on Saturday afternoon. Independence Day with lots of sunshine, specifically 111s for Palm Desert and Indio, and even hotter weather as you move into Sunday and Monday with 112s and 113s, possibly even 114s. Heading to the coast where the cool weather is, keep in mind, rip currents could be a big issue if you're heading into the water. High surf No advisories yet, but just a caution. We could see 4 to 7 foot waves. As far as the skies, maybe a mountain cloud early Saturday, but for the most part, sunshine each and every afternoon through early next week. As far as surface moisture, 40-degree dew points tomorrow, dropping to the 30s after that. Tropical wave basically being sheared apart. Upper level winds moving all the convection, the clouds, off to the west of the center. It's moving its way to the west-northwest, has a 30% chance of developing into a tropical depression. Here's your Comfort Air 7-day forecast. Yeah, it's going to be hot today, but even hotter over the holiday weekend. 110 Saturday, pair of 112s Sunday and Monday afternoon.
This Sunday here on NBC Palm Springs at 6:30, a look back in celebration of music. The Waring International Piano Competition presents Carnival of the Animals from a performance at the McCallum Theater in 2014. Here this morning is Ann Greer to fill us in on the details. Ann, welcome. It's good to see you.
Great. Always good to see you, Joe.
So this really is a case of 3 pianos and 6 hands.
Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, this was the very first 3 pianos, 6 hands that we did at the McCallum Theater.
And so what makes this one so special?
Well, what makes this one so special is that not only are there the 3 pianists playing Saint-Saëns music, but you've got some visuals and poems by Ogden Nash. And, of course, my mother, Gloria Greer, did the narration from the stage.
Well, and that is a treat in itself. Your mom was so instrumental here in the Valley, and she actually worked here at KMIR for a time. This has got to be very special for you.
Yes, it is. And, you know, with everything that's going on right now, the Waring, and in particular our chairman, Peggy Cravens, really wanted to do something for the community. And she thought, why don't we show Carnival of the Animals with narration by Gloria Greer to share with the people in the community and lift their spirits, have some fun.
So take us back a few years and how this all got started and why this is so important.
Competition started on the campus of the College of the Desert in 1978, and then it was reinvigorated with Virginia Waring as president and Peggy Cravens as the main person keeping it all together back in 1999. And Peggy wanted to do something that wasn't just a competition. And so it was her idea to do 3 pianos together because it's something unique, seeing the 3 pianos on the stage with the 3 pianists. And so that's how it all started. And it was so much fun and so rewarding and successful that we've done it every year since. And our next one, knock on wood, will be this coming November 4th.
And so where are the people coming from that are in the competition? All over the world?
The people in the competition come from around the world. Many of them are already here in the United States studying, you know. And for the 3 pianos, 6 hands, we look for previous winners and pull them together. And it's a special program, and special music is arranged for the 3 pianos, and we rehearse, and voila.
And you've got yourself a show. Do you play the piano?
I learned as a child. I can read music, but to say that I play the piano would be really doing a disservice, especially to anyone listening.
I got it, believe me. I took a few lessons, and boy, I wish I had stuck with them. Well, we are looking forward to this. It's going to be this Sunday night at 6:30 right here on NBC Palm Springs. So good to see you, and I hope people will watch because this is important, and it's a nice break.
It is. Thank you, Joe.
And keep it right here. We'll be right back.
In Your Health Today, as the 4th of July holiday approaches, a new study reveals some of the most popular fireworks release toxic metals into the air. Researchers from NYU analyzed 14 years of air quality samples from across the U.S., and they found levels of lead, copper, and other toxins were higher in samples from Independence Day and New Year's Eve than any other time of the year. Lab experts also showed these metals, which give fireworks their color, damage human cells and animal lungs. Experts say although people are only exposed to fireworks a few times a year, they are much more toxic than everyday pollutants. New research finds adults who get the recommended amount of exercise may in fact live longer. These findings are based on nearly 500,000 adults in the U.S. who reported their physical activity. Scientists found people who did at least 75 to 150 minutes of aerobic exercise a week had a 29% lower risk of death over the next 9 years. Now, those who did muscle strength training activities at least twice a week reduced their risk by 11%. Another reason to get out there and get that exercise in. And that's what's happening in Your Health Today.
We mentioned beach closures in LA and Orange County, restrictions on indoor dining here in the Valley, and face covering requirements, all over health concerns and public safety. But there's been a long-standing health concern over air quality in the Coachella Valley's East End around the Salton Sea. Our Regina Ureta reports on the struggle to clear the air.
Despite pandemic-related fiscal challenges, work on the Salton Sea still remains a priority, especially for Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia, who helped get funds of over $47 million for new river and Salton Sea mitigation projects.
Coming months, we'll be breaking ground in the southern western part of the sea on the species habitat conservation plan that is close to 4,000 acres of habitat restoration and air quality mitigation. So we're seeing some work.
And now more than ever, there's urgency for people living in the far eastern valley. Way before the pandemic, respiratory illnesses have been an everyday struggle. Activists call it an environmental injustice.
As we currently live in a pandemic, with a lot of the resources that we didn't have prior to the pandemic.
In a phone call, Juan Manuel Briseño, who lives in the North Shore community, tells NBC that he's witnessed children and pregnant women all suffering with chronic diseases. But the Salton Sea restoration has taken years and millions of dollars in state funding. This time, Garcia says it's a step closer to commence with cleanup.
Dollar cost. And when we're talking about $19 million for a pilot project, it's really a minimal drop in the bucket. And so it's important to put it into context. When we've secured close to $300 million, we still have a long ways to go to be able to have a significant impact.
These funds include habitat and air quality improvement, but activists want more to be done to address the human impact, especially as coronavirus cases continue to rise in Imperial County.
First, providing all benefits to the community residents that already live here.
Regina Ureta, NBC Palm Springs.
Now to some consumer news. 4th of July celebrations might look a bit different than usual tomorrow. Still, Melissa Rainey has some important fireworks safety tips.
The large Independence Day celebrations we're used to, complete with show-stopping fireworks displays, may be on hold this year in many places due to coronavirus. And that means many people might be tempted to create smaller fireworks shows of their own. And that has experts worried. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, about 10,000 people were treated for fireworks-related injuries in 2019. 73% of those occurred around the 4th of July. Handheld sparklers were the #1 item behind those accidents. That's why the CPSC wants to remind us all how to safely handle these potentially dangerous items. First, find out what's legal in your area to use. Never allow children to ignite or handle these items. Have a bucket of water or hose nearby. Light fireworks one at a time, then back away quickly. Never try to light or relight malfunctioning fireworks. Never point devices at people, and douse fireworks in water before disposing of them. These tips can help ensure you have a fun and safe time this holiday weekend. For today's Health Minute, I'm Melissa Rainey.
Watching fireworks can be fun for most of the family, but it can be very stressful for pets. Experts say one of the most important things is leave your pet inside a room or crate. And now is a good time to make sure your pet is microchipped with up-to-date tags. Make sure you also have a current picture on hand. And finally, walk through your yard and look for any firework debris before you let your pet back outside. Of course, you can watch a very special fireworks show from the comfort of your couch. We'll have a July 4th fireworks extravaganza right here on NBC Palm Springs at our sister station, KPSE. That will be live at 9 on KPSE with an encore on NBC Palm Springs at 11. And right now, you are taking a look at our Agua Caliente Casino cam, and preparations are underway for that big fireworks show. It's going to happen tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. Now, as we head to break, let's take a live look outside with our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera. And Jerry is standing by with that important holiday forecast.
Looking at our Agua Caliente Casino cam, we're going to see a lot of this. Blue skies over the next few afternoons. A lot of dryness in the atmosphere over the next several days, actually into most of next week. Yesterday we had temps around 104. It's going to be a little warmer than that. Already on our way. Triple digits. Not seeing any right now, but we're awfully close. 98 degrees at Palm Springs, Thousand Palms. Also at 98, 96 degrees at Desert Hot Springs, 87, Yucca Valley, 90 at Cabazon. Again, clear skies over the valley, much of Southern California. Not a whole lot going on. You got to look to Arizona and the Four Corner States for some of the thunderstorm activity. That's where the monsoonal moisture is. It's going to stay there over the next several days, and you can see a lot of orographic lift thunderstorm activity happening, all that moisture being pulled up over the mountains. That's where it's forming, getting that natural lift thanks to the mountains. Yeah, quiet here though in Southern California. 105 to 108. It's going to be a little toastier than yesterday, but close to normal. This is typical for early July, but beginning tomorrow, those numbers start moving back up. A lot of sunshine for us. 107 at Palm Springs compared to 70s and 80s along the coast for today. We should see a lot of low 80s along the coast as those numbers warm up tomorrow. But inland easily into the triple digits at around 11 o'clock noontime tomorrow. 107s will be prevalent around the valley this afternoon, but that ridge of high pressure will begin to strengthen over the southwest, influencing us with hotter weather. So tomorrow, Independence Day, we heat on up. 110 to 113, the range of highs. Lots of sunshine to go with those numbers, specifically 110s and 111s for many of us. And then we heat up even more Sunday and Monday, 112s, 113s, possibly 114s, bringing us excessive heat tomorrow. Basically into Sunday and Monday. Heading to the coast where the cooler weather is, keep in mind rip currents and high surf will be a factor, not only today, but again, Saturday and Sunday. A lot of sunshine for us in the Coachella Valley, maybe a mountain cloud early tomorrow, but sunshine as we take you into the next few days. Surface moisture dropping from the 40-degree dew points today and tomorrow to 30s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with single-digit relative humidity. Okay, a little celestial heads up. We're going to have a full moon tomorrow. Also, a partial lunar eclipse. That'll peak at around 9:30 tomorrow. We could see maybe a reddish tint to the moon. And then Sunday night, actually Monday morning, look for the moon, Saturn, and Jupiter, basically in the southern sky, about 40 degrees up. Okay, here's your 7-day forecast from Comfort Air. 107 today, 110 tomorrow, hot 112 on Sunday and Monday for Palm Springs. We'll be up there again on Tuesday.
lining. And this one has to do something with a Roadrunner. I mean, is this something that's going to go across the screen? What are we talking about here?
Well, Roadrunner, RDRNNR, is the name of a brand new restaurant in La Quinta in their Old Town Shopping Center. And, you know, they originally had opened up right before the pandemic. They opened up last fall, and they are such community members. They said, we're going to hang in there. We're not going to close our doors. So they kept themselves open to donate meals to frontline workers and hospital workers and all the emergency care workers. And they were doing such a wonderful, wonderful job that when the state of California implemented their Great Plates initiative, which was a subsidized program, kind of like a Meal on Wheels, Roadrunner was the first to raise their hand and say, we want to do that. So now, as well as being officially open to the public, which Old Town La Quinta did last weekend, Roadrunner is still doing these fabulous outreach programs for our community, helping those in need have nutritious meals, all at no cost.
And so they didn't worry about the loss that they were going to incur as long as they were able to help the community.
Exactly. And the owners have been in this desert a long time, working at different restaurants. And when they came together to pull this brand new restaurant, their big debut in the fall, they were so excited and had so many dreams. And when the pandemic hit, they thought, you know what? It's not going to squash our dreams. We're here to be part of our community, and they've really stepped it up like so many restaurants have in our community. It's a true silver lining.
Well, we should all then step it up and support a restaurant like that. That's for sure.
Exactly. And the food is fantastic. So definitely check it out.
All right, let's take a look.
They opened their doors with much anticipation and joy to serve our community back in November of 2019. Roadrunner in La Quinta Old Town was a new venture for owners, Anita and Chris, but they had lots of combined local restaurant experience, so they were confident of the success. But they didn't plan on a pandemic shutting them down so soon after they'd opened. True inspiration happened, and soon they found an even bigger purpose and a silver lining. I know you are big members of the community, and thank you for that. So tell me, where was the inspiration to get involved with Great Plates? And tell me a little bit about Great Plates.
Absolutely. The Great Plates program came down from Governor Newsom a little over a month and a half ago, and it was designed to have local restaurants deliver great meals with dietary needs in mind to the elderly and high-risk residents of the community. So we did sign up with Riverside County, and they provided a list of 50 local residents within a 10-mile radius. And so every day we have a group of 4 drivers that meet at the restaurant every morning between 7:45 and 8 o'clock and load up all of the great meals. And the routes typically take about an hour to hour and 15 minutes. And so it's been a great success. About the 19th or 20th of March, when COVID hit and kind of blew up our world, we had some conversations internally, and we talked to Chef and some friends of ours that are in the medical field over at JFK, and we said, hey, we'd like to do something while everybody's shut down and really pay homage and respect to some nurses over at JFK. So we called Linda Evans, and she was the liaison for that. And we assembled 50 meals in our kitchen at Roadrunner and delivered them. And the response was tremendous. We've visited all of the local hospitals about 3 times, and police stations, fire stations. We even delivered to our local post office as well. So we've raised over about $13,000 in a little over 2 months. And so it's been a great experience, and we're just happy to be a part, and that the community donated and gave us the opportunity to take care of the frontline workers.
And so through all of this, what has been your silver lining?
Well, it's given us a chance to actually connect with the community a little bit more, because those people that decided to continue to support us during the time that we were closed, we really got to know even more on a personal level, because they took it upon themselves to make sure that they supported us every week, and sometimes multiple times a week. So That's been really great, getting to know, essentially strangers that we were hoping that we would meet eventually, and we just got to meet them sooner.
For NBC Cares Silver Linings, I'm Sandy Newton.
We are talking skincare again today because we have our friend Uli Haslacher from Pour Moi Skincare with us. And Uli, I understand for the first time you're going to be offering a product along with our Climate Smart Desert product that actually works if we're going to take a little road trip to the beach or Los Angeles, any of the environs around us, even San Diego. That is a great solution. So welcome and tell us a little bit about that. But before you do that, please show everyone your hands again, because that to me is really sells the product. Talk to me about this great comparison.
Well, I wanted to show what Pour Moi did for me, a grandma, twice grandma in my face. So I demonstrated it on one of my hands. This is the hand I treated with Climate Smart Skincare every day. And this is the hand where I use a regular moisturizer. And Sandy, look at the difference. It's 30 years, some dermatologist tells me.
Wow, that is incredible. So 3 decades of aging has been removed as a result of these climate smart products, which is so great, Pour Moi. So talk to me about the fact that I know you've formulated them for different climates, and in the desert community, as we've discussed, we've had different needs and specific needs. But for those of us who are lucky enough to take a little road trip to the beach, Los Angeles, San Diego, that's a different product need, isn't it?
Exactly. So what you do is you match your day cream to the climate you are daily in. So in Palm Springs, you need always the desert day cream because it's hot and dry. But in LA, when you're on the beach, you get the humidity, you get the marine layers, and that's when you rotate over for the day where you are on the beach in California or San Diego or up north even, to the temperate day cream. And by rotating them accordingly to the daily weather, you will get amazing, extraordinary anti-aging results, because most of the aging, Sandy, is external aging, the science of aging. That's why we call them the science of aging. It's not really biological aging. So it doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter what skin type you are, your visible part of your skin depends on the climate you are in.
Wow, that makes so much sense. And I know as difficult as it was, you were able to get a U.S. patent for your products, which is so impressive and amazing.
I know I have it with me. I always brag a little bit about it because it's so rare. And what we had to show is that it's completely unique. So, you know, the stigma that everybody thinks skincare is all the same, just a different bottle and such a different brand. Not with Pour More. This is truly a new skin care, and it works differently. And we had to prove also that it works. So you only get a U.S. patent if it meets all these criteria.
So I know there are 4 products and 3 steps, which makes it so easy. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes, here's what you get for Palm Springs. Step 1 is the hydrating balancer. Think of it as your first glass of water you drink in the morning. It wakes up your skin. It's your first layer of anti-aging ingredients. Step 2 is the serum. It makes your skin, your smart skin, even smarter because skin is very smart. It makes it climate smart. So it kicks repair and renewal in a desert climate because that causes all of your external aging signs. And then step number 3, you lock it in with the climate specific day cream of the day. So when you're in Palm Springs, you use the desert day cream. And if you are going to LA on the beach and you have some humidity, you change over that day to the temperate day cream. They are all working in synergy and they will give you this extraordinary results that I got and thousands of other people already got.
Well, I am so impressed and I'm so grateful for you bringing this product to our desert because, you know, I've had personally a few friends call you with questions and you're so great about communicating and we are all looking forward to hearing more about your products. So thank you so much, Julie. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Sandy. Bye-bye.